Lois, age 69, lives in Wisconsin. Lois was married to her second husband for over 30 years. She has 2 grown children from her first marriage. In this video, Lois and 2 domestic violence advocates describe her experience living with her abusive husband and the services she received.
That was his way of frightening me. He would run and get his gun, you know. And I would back down. And then he has gotten a gun at me so many times. When he didn't threaten me with the gun, I would get knocked around, kicked, pushed. He pushed me down the stairs, and somehow or another, I caught a hold of the banister and broke my finger. Went to work and lied. And see, I was headed down the step and clutched, and I fell and broke my finger. Had gone to work with black eyes and said, "You know what? I don't know what's wrong with me. I keep running into the wall."
When I first met Lois, I think she was in denial herself and full of shame about what had happened to her. And that sometimes I think it was hard for her to even admit to herself that this happened.
How it all came to a head, I was in the hospital, and my daughter brought me home from the hospital. And to my surprise, when I opened the door, it was a big surprise. There, my husband and a woman was on the living room floor, nude. And my daughter was outside because I had stuff that people had given me, plants and stuff. She'd bring them in the house. So when she entered the home, there he was, and I thought that he was ashamed that he was going to run upstairs and hide himself. The woman, I don't know what happened to her. To this day, I don't know. She swooped off the face of the earth. And when he came downstairs, he had a gun and threatened to shoot my daughter. Why, I don't know, because of the embarrassment or what. So I stood between he and my daughter. And by the grace of God, I don't know how I did it, I took the gun from him and I threw it. And he proceeded to go upstairs. I thought he was going up there, cool off. He came back. This time he had a shotgun. So I left and we called the police. And he was arrested. I remember when we left there, she told me, "Mom, something is going to have to be done." She said, "You cannot spend the rest of your life in a situation like this." I wondered for a long time why I stayed in. I was afraid. I didn't know what would happen to me. Could I make it on my own? Should I leave? What would people think?
When I first met Lois was really afraid. Every step Lois made, even getting to group, I used to pick her up and drive her to group. She was just afraid. She was afraid of who's following me. Will I see him? What would I do? So I actually used to pick her up from her job. She would drive to her job, and I would drive her to group.
I would just, oh my God, I can't tell you how, if I would think about it, like big knots would just get in my stomach. I stayed sick all the time. I've had so many surgeries. And one of the doctors told me, so Lois, you know what? A lot of that surgery that you have had, it comes from the situation that you was in. I didn't even go to the pastor and say anything because some minister, they are not educated enough, I don't think, to realize that violence do go on. And what they is trying to do is save your soul, and this doesn't happen. If someone hit you, turn the other cheek.
The people that she trusted the most were people in her in her church, but this wasn't something she wanted to share with them.
My generation didn't talk about it. They, what happened in the home, supposed to leave it there.
And so I think she was grateful to have a place where she could come and tell the truth as she experienced it, little by little, be able to say more, and gain her strength, and to have a new life.
At first, I was a little leery because I know when I came in, I started talking and I broke down, which everybody do. You cry, which is good, like I said. And then knowing, too, that you're not alone.
It's like you could see the light bulbs going on. You could see her saying, that's what happened to me, and also identifying with all the other women in the group who had similar situations.
I can't tell you when or what snapped in my brain to make me realize love isn't supposed to hurt. Love is supposed to make you feel good. Love doesn't mean that I can slap you around whenever I want to. I can call you out of your name. I can make you feel as low as the lows.
Now she seems, she has so much confidence in herself. She's so brave. She's just strong. Much different from when I first met her.
The amount of empathy that goes on between the women, the support, is just invaluable, I think. And I think that's what happened for Lois. She found a group of women that she could let down with, that she could trust. She knew that what she said to them wasn't going to go out of that room. And so I think she just put a lot into the group herself and got a lot out of it.
The group helped me gain my self-esteem back. I walked proud, my head up. And it made me feel that I'm strong. Felt like I could take on a lion if I had to.
She was a wonderful role model for younger women at the shelter. And she has offered to go with us when we go out to do presentations at churches and organizations. And so she's gotten that strong now that she can do that.
The group helped me to be a survivor, and I am.